Alright, this section gets into the nitty-gritty of muscle fiber types and how they adapt. So type 2X, fast twitch fibers, the most explosive type of fast twitch fibers. Those are, as we said, highly explosive. They need energy quick. That's related to like ATP PC. Energy lasts for, up to 15 seconds. So that's 100-meter dashes, explosive lifts max out. Then we have the type 2A muscle fibers, fast twitch type 2A fibers, which are oxidative and glycolytic. I call those also the fog muscles for fast twitch oxidative glycolytic. Those can take characteristics of either or, depending on how we train. They can take on characteristics of being a little more explosive or a little more oxidative. Then we have the type 1 fibers, which are, they need, they're slow and steady. They require a lot of oxygen for energy. That's marathons, long distance races, walking, standing, postural muscles. That's a lot of our slow twitch fibers. And we also introduced the hybrid fiber types, which are, there's type 2 hybrid fibers and type 1 hybrid fibers. And the hybrids are the ones that mostly adapt to the modalities of training that we put our body on, or we introduce to our body. There's a few studies in there that I reference that kind of show how they switch, and muscle fiber types, can change or can shift towards our modality of training rather quickly. The one that's done with marathon runners, it shows within 12 weeks their fiber types change to mostly, slow twitch dominant. They took on characteristics of more of the type 2A and more type 1 fiber types. They reduced count big time in their type 2X fibers, which that should mean a lot to us. So if we have explosive athletes we're training, we don't want to train them long distance. We want to keep them explosive. We don't want them to lose that explosiveness because we're making them warm up, doing 5-mile runs, doing a lot of endurance training, slow, long distance work during training or during practices. We want to keep them explosive. That's the name of the game. That's their job in their sport, is to stay explosive. So we train them specific to their sport or their task. And though the studies just kind of emphasize how we should train our clients or train our athletes, kind of specific to their goals, the results that they want. That's how we train them. So if they want to be an endurance athlete, yeah, we work them endurance. We shift fiber types that way to get them, better in distance. But we also want to keep the strength up because it also shows that they can retain strength in the type 2A muscles, our FOG muscles, which is a big deal because we still want our endurance athletes to have a little bit of power. That way they can still excel in their sport. They can have a little bit of power in their movements. They're not just, you don't want a weak endurance athlete, in other words. That about wraps up this section. There's additional sources that I have. I have a couple links in the reading. There's a lot of the infographics, which have a lot of information in those infographics. Those are all by Strength and Conditioning Research. I have them on Facebook. That's where I've gotten a lot of the information from. They do a lot of research and they put out a lot of studies all the time. Look more into their work if you have any questions on anything. They produce a lot of information.